Welcome back to another weekly vlog. We're starting this vlog off headed to my doctor's appointment. I'm headed to my doctor's office to have an endometrial biopsy done. I told you all the situation with the fibroids, and they are getting larger by the minute, it seems like. My doctor's located in the Baptist Hospital downtown in Jacksonville, if you live in Jacksonville. And he wanted me to go ahead and have the endometrial biopsy to try to see what direction we want to take to try to remedy the situation with these fibroids. Fun fact, this was my very first doctor when I got big girl insurance. I ended up switching from him, not because I didn't like him, but because I switched to another OBGYN who has since passed away. Y'all, that procedure was probably one of the most uncomfortable procedures I've ever had, short of having a baby. So to make myself feel better, I went and got me an acai bowl. Yes, I did. It was 5 minutes away, so I went and got me an acai bowl. Several days later, y'all, I don't even remember why I was in this area, but this right here is a junior high school I used to go to, but they converted it to condos. This was John Gorey. If you live in Jacksonville, you are familiar with John Gorey. Then the next day, y'all, this is my lunch. I made me a salmon bowl. You all saw I made one previously, and I decided to make another one. Then I decided to go to Publix. I had to stock up on some groceries, y'all. That is $100 and something worth of groceries. And this little thing right here, y'all, my husband bought a pool cleaner because, listen, that pollen was so bad this year. It had my husband cleaning that pool out every day. These right here are almond croissants. I got these from Trader Joe's, y'all. These are really good. When you go to Trader Joe's, look in their frozen food section. They're called almond croissants. You have to let them proof overnight, but they are delicious. And here's a little robot, whatever thingamajig is, child, doing this action. It skims the dirt off the top of the pool. The next day, y'all, I had to go to Orange Park Mall. I had a return at JCPenney, and then I had to pick up my order from Bath & Body Works. They had their wallflowers $2.95 a piece. So I ordered me like 20 of them because they were $2.95. I like the way they smell. To me, they're a little bit more concentrated than the Febreze ones. So I got them especially, again, while they were on sale. On my way home, I stopped off at Sunny's and picked up dinner because I didn't feel like cooking. I was still a little sore from that biopsy, y'all. That thing was not fun. I got me a brisket sandwich, and I got my son a turkey sandwich, and my husband ribs. My husband texted me this day. This was the next day, and he asked me to put the little pool thing in the water because the remote control, he has not configured it or something yet, child. And y'all, look at my dog, Bella. She is such a diva, y'all. My dog is she's a senior dog. She'll be 15 this year, child. And she is every bit of sport as sport can be. So, y'all, I'm here at an estate sale. I dropped something off to my hairstylist this morning, and while I was leaving, I saw a sign for an estate sale. Around that area, there are always going to be signs for estate sales, even if the estate sale is not in that area. So this was no different. So I saw the estate sale. It was actually 20 minutes in the opposite direction that I was actually going in. But, it's Saturday morning. It's actually 10:50 a.m. And I was like, let me check it out. Y'all know Saturdays are the day that I get out and do most of my running around since I do work from home. By the time the weekend comes, I'm ready to go. So let's go ahead and go in and see what this estate sale has to offer. So this house was in its own little secluded area. I mean, the house had neighbors, don't get me wrong, but the way the house was built and covered with a lot of greenery, it just felt like it was, its own little piece of paradise. The things that they had were very, they were all antique, as you can see from the nice chairs that they had to offer. And the persons or people that owned this house, I can tell that they were very into collecting antique pieces of furniture, because almost the whole house, as you can see by this bed, which, side note, this bed was gorgeous, y'all. I can tell that everything was from an older era. Y'all remember this vanity that I saw at that antique mall that I showed you all? That was kind of the same thing. This mirror, y'all, was so pretty, and that mirror was heavy. Y'all, look at this bed. Look at this round bed. Remember, I think the movie Scarface, they had a round bed like that. I thought that was really nice. This dresser, if you can call it that, maybe that's not the right word, that was really pretty as well. And then this, what is it? Not a bassinet, but what do you call it? A stroller. Child, the thing you push the babies in, a stroller. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. Imagine this just as a piece in like a young girl's room that had like a very princessy vibe. These glasses were crystal, and I picked these up and I was thinking to myself, who was drinking out of these? Because girl, they were solid crystal, very heavy. Then outside they had this patio set. This would be really nice to upcycle. You could spray paint this a different color, change the pillows out. I just thought it was very nice. And this grandfather clock, y'all, fun fact about me, when we built our house, I used to want a grandfather clock. This one is a Seth Thomas, and it still worked, y'all. It still worked. And they only wanted $200 for this grandfather clock. I thought that was a really good price for an antique piece. This mirror, y'all, this mirror was huge, but it was gorgeous. Okay, so that was interesting. So this estate sale was at a house that used to be a stable for like horses, but whoever lived in this house, it looked like it may have been a couple, because there was there were things in there that like they had men's clothes and women's clothes, and then a lot of the decor, you can tell, leaned a little bit more feminine. So the woman that lived in the house, she probably did a lot of the decor, but they were a collector of antiques, y'all. Listen, if you are a person that enjoys an antique piece, I like an antique piece because things aren't made the same as they were back then, and a lot of the craftsmanship of things that are made today is kind of like left behind. But if you are a lover of antiques, this would have been a perfect place for you. They had a lot of ornate pieces of furniture, a lot of crystal. Anyway, I'm done at the estate sale, so now I'm headed to my next destination, which is Fifi's. I do have a drop-off. If you hear a train, it's literally a train track right here, and houses are on the other side, so I'm sure that's not fun for the people who live here. But this looks like it's a train track, maybe for mainly like commuter trains or something, because this is a, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go to my next destination and enjoy the rest of the vlog. So our next stop was at the thrift store. I'm redoing several rooms in my house right now, so why not stop at the thrift store to see what I can find. Those are the colors of the day. Y'all, this reindeer, it was really, really pretty. And I don't know what the material on it was, but it was heavy. That'll be a nice piece for Christmas, whether you keep it the same color or spray paint it. And then I saw this elephant. Y'all know I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta. Ooh, so anytime I see an elephant, I always pick it up. I almost got that one, but I didn't, because the office is one of the rooms we're redoing, and I won't have a shelf anymore because we're getting rid of the bookcases. This vase, however, I did get because I am looking to replace a vase that's in my family room, and for $20 in the thrift store, with the design and, you know, the scale of how it was exactly what I was looking for, so I picked it up. Y'all, I saw this piece. You know what I thought about? You leather wearing in the summertime.
Take your drunk ass leather wearing in the summertime, need a shave, stinky ass home.
Then, y'all, I saw these boots. These are by Zara. This was a blue velvet boot, and then they had the tie up around the ankle. They were only $9.99, so I did pick those up. Of course, I can't wear them now because it's too hot. This leather bag, y'all, it was giving me all of the vintage Gucci vibes. I thought about getting it, but then realistically, I had to tell myself, girl, you probably are never going to carry it. But it was genuine leather. It was quote unquote made in Italy, because y'all, if you know what's going on in the world these days. Then I headed over to TJ Maxx because I'm looking for this handbag. My girl Dionne Dean, and I'll insert her channel in the description box, she found this beautiful, she described it as a dumpling bag, and this leather clutch bag, y'all. That bag was so pretty. So when I tell y'all I have gone to almost all the TJ Maxx's here in Jacksonville looking for that bag, like, trust me, I have. She lives in South Florida, so you know in South Florida they get a lot of things first that we here in Northeast Florida don't get. But they didn't have the bag, but I did look around while I was there. I thought this bag was really pretty. I like the gold little rosette detail that it had. And then this suede bag was really nice, but all I thought about was, y'all, that bag will get extremely dirty, and keeping it clean would probably be a real chore. Then y'all know all the rave about this bag. I think they call this like a East West, and it's like a I think Bottega is the originator of this bag. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a dupe of that bag. Not my style, but it is a pretty bag for those who like it. Now this bag was really pretty as well. It was by the same brand as that other hobo style bag that I showed you, and it was also suede. I did really appreciate the little wristlet that it had, the little gold wristlet, but child, keeping it clean too much. This was my drop off for the day at Fifi's. I dropped them off. I picked up a check while I was there, and then I headed to my next destination. So I was headed over to Goodwill on a side of town that I went to get my makeup done. If you live in Jacksonville, this is in the New Berlin Road area, and I had to cross the Dames Point Bridge. This bridge was built in the late 80s or early 90s, and child, it gives me anxiety every time I go. Since that bridge has been built, I've only been over it probably 5 times, no lie. So I did find the Goodwill. The color of the day was blue, and I wanted to look at like mainly home decor stuff. Y'all, like I said in the earlier clips, I'm redoing some rooms in my house, so I'm just looking for like things to redecorate in that process. This Goodwill, it was okay, but I didn't really find anything I had to have. This suit was really cute. It reminded me of the Louis Vuitton print. I don't know what you call that, but that's what it reminded me of. These shoes reminded me of Stella McCartney. Stella McCartney has shoes just like this. I did like this skirt. It was by Ashley Stewart. But then this shirt right here, I did like the skirt because it had the same colors, but when I came home and washed it and tried it on, child, it was giving not the vibe I wanted to give. So I picked them up both, but I have since donated the shirt. I kept the skirt. Then I went over to Joann's. As you know, Joann's is going out of business, so everything in the store is on sale. So I wanted to take a look to see what fabrics they have, because you know, I enjoy a good custom piece when I'm able to get it done. I saw this fabric and all I could think about was this would be beautiful in like a dress or a pair of wide leg pants. I'm going to let it go down a little bit more before I purchase it, and then I'll take it to my seamstress. Headed over to Publix. Picked up this orange juice. My son not orange juice, apple juice. My son loves that apple juice. So I bought that for him. Y'all know the story with grapes. I don't buy mushy grapes. Then I bought some vegetable medley because I was going to make me some salmon and vegetables. Picked up Pop-Tarts for my son. Y'all know I love the plantains. Island girlies don't give me too much stank on it. I bought these right here. They were BOGO. So I bought those to make my son breakfast in the morning when he goes to work. English muffin, egg and cheese. My husband loves these sausage links. They're a little bit too salty for me, but I will eat them. I love feta cheese. It's one of my favorite. Then I bought some brioche bread. I don't buy bread off the shelf anymore. I buy the bread out of the bakery. I do love these San Pellegrino drinks. They're not very sweet, but they, get the job done. $102 later. This is what I walked away with. And then y'all remember I told y'all I was going to make my son an Easter basket. I made one for him and one for his girlfriend. Everything you see came from the Dollar Tree. Yes, they both have gift cards. You just can't see his. Then I made me some lunch, a turkey burger on the sesame brioche bread with a side of plantain chips. Then my San Pellegrino, I just topped it off with some blackberries. And that is my vlog for the week, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at LuxLiving4_less. And I'll see you guys and gals in the next video. Bye.